stream started, okay?
You're very welcome to Semple Stadium today for this Oreen Cup clash between Gortnahoe Glengoole and Sean Treacys. I'm Stephen Gleeson here with you for the next while or so alongside Cian Treacy, who is here with me this afternoon. We're really looking forward to this game. Two serious teams, and they've had some great results over the last couple of years here in Tipperary and are out on the field at the moment just warming up, going through those pre-match drills, just getting ready, getting the touch in before the throw-in at 12 o'clock. Cian Treacy is here with me, Tipp Camogie coach, and also the Oreen Cup team for Thurles Sarsfield's trainer, manager, whatever we'd like to call you as well. Cian, you're very welcome.
Thanks very much, Stephen. Delighted to be here today. Just looking out at the two teams warming up, as you mentioned. Greasy enough conditions, a lot of rain this morning in Thurles, but it seems to have cleared up just before the start of the game. And I'm really looking forward to this game, as it's a clash of the last two intermediate champions in Tipperary, Sean Treacys in 2019 and Gortnahoe Glengoole, who won the championship in 2020. And very interesting to see whether the experience Gortnahoe gained from playing here in the final last year stands to them. And it's a new experience for the Sean Treacy side, playing in Semple Stadium for the first time today, Stephen.
And that's huge, really, Cian, when you think about it. I mean, I was here last year. Paddy Stapleton was here on commentary alongside me for Gortnahoe Glengoole's county win, and it was a huge day, you know. It was just massive for the club. Playing in Thurles is something that can phase you a little, so really Sean Treacys are going to have to hit the ground running.
Absolutely, Stephen. It's just different to every pitch. It's the pitch every player in the county wants to play in. It's that little bit bigger, but it's nearly more of a mental thing than a physical thing, just to play in Semple Stadium. And I'm sure these players are really looking forward to it. In saying that, on the experience side, I know Gortnahoe Glengoole played here last year in the county final, but there's so much experience in that Sean Treacy side. I remember back to 2015, a lot of these lads in an amalgamation with Kappa White, actually managed by Liam Cahill, played Thurles Sarsfields in an under-21A county final. If you think back to that day, unfortunately, for them, Kappa White and Sean Treacy's were beaten, but that Sarsfield side was backboned by Ronan Maher, Billy McCarthy, Conor Lanigan, Stephen Cahill. So they have huge experience of big days too.
Great stuff, and we're getting ready to go here. It is a 12 o'clock start here, and we'll just go through the starting teams, and we'll go through Gortnahoe Glengoole first in their red jerseys, just on the 45 at the moment, just going through some touches there and getting a feel for the ball. In goals today, it is Timmy Dunn. The full back line then sees Inda McCarthy at 2, Davy Nolan at full back, and Philly Purcell in cornerback. And then the half back line, Brian Maher is at 5, Martin Barneville is at centre back, and Colm Guilfoyle completes the defence. In midfield then for Gortnahoe, Jack Moore is there alongside Carl Campion, and the half forward line sees Fionn Cleary at 10, Ronan Tehan at centre forward, and Adrian Maher at 12. The starting full forward line then, Garrod Fahy is 13, Kevin Slattery full forward, and Dara Maher completes the Gortnahoe Glengoole team. Moving on to Sean Treacy's then, and they're just warming up over at the town end here in Thurles, and just hitting the ball in and over the bar and into the goalie as well, just to test him in there. Shane Stapleton is the goalkeeper for Treacy's. Then the full back line sees Andrew O'Brien at 2, Sean Hickey at full back, and Willie Mackey at 4. The half back line has Chris Egan at 5, Mike Feehan at 6, and Paul Nolan the other wing back. Then in midfield it's Jody Ryan and Pat Deegan. The half forward line has Tom Hickey at 10, Brian Carey at centre forward, and Donncha O'Brien, the captain, wears the number 12 jersey. The starting full forward line then has Patrick Carey at 13, Matt Feehan full forward, and Shawnee Ryan completes the Sean Treacy's lineup there. And I think, Keane, it's probably fair to say there's one notable absentee today from those intermediate winning sides that you mentioned already, and that is Keane Hayes, corner forward last year for Gortnahoe. He was something else last year.
Yeah, phenomenal county final performance, Stephen. 114, 1-4 from play last year. Actually playing for Fulham Gales in the Lancashire final today against Wolf Tones from Liverpool. In the semi-final scored 15 points. So he's continuing that form in England. Unfortunately, I'm sure from Gortnahoe management point of view, they'd love to have him out here, and just a fantastic performance in last year's county final.
Yeah, it was great. Had a great chat with his granddad that day here in Thurles, and such joy that Gortnahoe won that day, and Treacys as well. Treacys have just been a team that, they did everything right, I suppose, the last few years. They put in great facilities up there in Kilcommon. If you're up there, they've got really good dressing rooms, really good pitch, and everything is just, it's set up to kind of keep the club alive and keep the club thriving, and it's huge there for them. And they're seeing the benefit of it really when you have 30 players togging out today. It's where the energy of the young people is in the parish.
Yeah, they're a really great club, and they've made huge strides in the last year, culminating in winning the 2019 county intermediate final. Some really interesting players, and a really interesting style under Natal O'Grady from Patrick Swell, who would have been involved with Limerick underage teams in Ardscoil Reach. They kind of play a sweeper system, and it will just be interesting to see how that matchup goes against Gortnahoe. They'll try and get Mikey Feehan free as sweeper, and they'll play it through the lines very much like Limerick do. Now, I know you know as well as anyone, Stephen, it's harder to implement Limerick style than their senior hurlers make it look, but it'll just be interesting to see how they play against the Gortnahoe side, who are really goal hungry and really go for it. So the contrast between two styles will be really interesting today.
Yeah, and with that Gortnahoe team, one of the standout players is Ronan Tehan, and he's been brilliant for Tipp teams here the last few years, and also for his club. Now Ronan Tehan is in at 11 today for them, so will it be Mike Feehan, I wonder, or Paul Nolan will be in there just to pick him up, because they're going to have to watch him, because he is the main man there. Everything goes through Ronan Tehan.
Yeah, he's the danger man really, Stephen. it'll be really interesting to see what they do with Ronan. He would have obviously played under 21 with Tipperary, and on the same team would have been Shawnee Ryan Rogers, who's playing corner forward for Sean Treacys. So Jody Ryan for Sean Treacys often plays as the marking centre back with Mikey Feehan as the sweeper behind him. So it'll be interesting to see, does Jody Ryan pick up Ronan Tehan, and does Mikey Feehan go in behind? And on the other side, who is going to pick up Patrick Carey, the real danger man inside for Sean Treacys? So there's two options really. Is it going to be Philip Purcell, a fast corner back, or is it going to be Carol Campion, who moves back to Markham, having marked Mikey Breen last weekend, or 2 weekends ago?
Good stuff, and we're going to pause here for the Arana V. Nice crowd over across as the teams get ready to go here. It is going to be Gortnahoe against Sean Treacy's throw in at 12, and we'll be ready to start here at 12 o'clock as the teams just go into the middle of the field and assume their positions here and get ready for this one. Ref in the middle now, about to throw it in. Two keepers are down at both sides of the field, and teams look to be orthodox here. Three backs and three forwards in each of the lines as this one is sent straight in, and it is straight away. It is Sean Treacy's on the attack here. Ball just filters back out towards midfield here, held up out there by Jody Ryan. Nice ball sent straight into the corner now, in on top of Patrick Carey over there the far side, but Gortnahoe there and just mopped that up and back as far as Timmy Dunn now out into the middle of the field, hopping ball out there and just let fly on out there again by Ryan as he just moves that ball on, and it is Treacy's coming on the attack. Brian Carey now sends it into the corner. No one in there. Corner forward just gone out looking for the ball. It's Shawnee Ryan coming out to meet it, but again Gortnahoe go back to the goalkeeper. Here they go. Long one straight down the field this time. Longer puck than last one. It's just breaking out there in front of Kevin Slattery. Ball still just on the deck there. Let fly on along the ground, but it's gone out over the line. It is going to be a line ball for Gortnahoe. Just 54 seconds on the clock here. They're still settling, I suppose, Keane.
Yeah, still settling into the game. Interesting to see Sean Treacy's playing with that two-man inside forward line of Patrick Carey and Shawnee Ryan, and it looks like Mikey Feehan has gone back as sweeper as expected.
So ready to go here out the far side now. It is going to be Ronan Tehan who will cut this ball in the middle of the field now, just looking up to see what's on. Straight down the corner, he's thinking about going here. Players just moving back slightly. Nice cut from Tehan all the way in towards the 21. It's a hopping ball in there on the greasy sod, and it just is carried out over the line. It's going to be the first puck out here for the Treacys, and a chance for them just to kick on here now as the keeper gets ready. Stapleton drives it long, looking for the wing forwards up there. Hurley's up, ball down on the deck now again. It's well won out there the far side of the field, and coming away with it here, it is the Treacys. It's Deegan on the way through now. Just takes a hard challenge there from Tehan, but keeps going now over the far side of the field, trying to do something with that ball, but it is won back there by Tehan, and he filters it out to midfield. Out there now, just battling hard forward out there. Three players inside. Again, Treacy's come on the attack here now. Shawnee Ryan bursting through, lays off this ball outside him here now. A chance here, steadying himself there. It's Carey, and that's the first score. The hills are alive over there. The sound of the cheers for the Treacys.
And it's that danger man, Patrick Carey, with the first point. Great run from Shawnee Rogers through the middle, popped it off to him, and no better man than Patrick Carey to finish the chance.
Here we go. Gortnahoe on the attack straight away from the puck out. It's Fionn Cleary, long ranger, all the way down, and Fionn Cleary has put it over the bar. Two scores within a few seconds.
A lovely score from Fionn Cleary off his left. A great long range striker, and that'll settle Gortnahoe Glengoole into the game.
So ready to go again here now. This one hit long down the field. Just hopping ball out there. Took a little deflection on again. It is Brian Carey coming to meet it, and he's won himself a free out there. The Gortnahoe backs just in like lightning just to try and steady the ship there, but they've given away the free, and it is a scoreable one, but it is out near the sideline here, so it'll be a bit of a test for Patrick Carey, but he's on the score sheet already, and he's just steadying up for this one now, just midway between the 21 and the 45. Having a look inside now. Treacys will be hoping just to get this one and just edge ahead and stay ahead in this game if they can. Here we go. It's sent in and over the bar at the Killinen end. It is 2 points for the Treacys. Gortnahoe, 1 point. Nice start from.
Lovely start by Patrick Carey, and great work from his brother Brian, who'd be a workhorse on the team to win the free.
So long puck out this time. Down the feed now by Dunn, all the way over the far side. Hopping ball over there, and it's just let it run on over there. Feehan gathers it over there the far side. Jody Ryan involved as well, but the ball just goes in and goes out over the line, and it is going to be another line ball now for Gortnahoe over the far side of the field. All the other players just filtering back there. Another chance for Ronan Tehan here. This time again he's going to have a go and see can he hit it in and over the bar. The corner forwards just in positions down near the sideline not to let this one trickle wide like the last one did. Here we go, it's sent in. Oh, no mistake this time. A fabulous score by Ronan Tehan.
A lovely strike by Ronan Tehan from the line ball. He's well capable of that, Stephen. Have seen him do it at club level and at schools level and inter-county level.
Here we go, a long puck out this time. Shane Stapleton down the field looking for the wing forwards again, and a fantastic catch out there, laid back outside him now, out as far as O'Brien. O'Brien sends it over the far side of the field, and it is Treacy's coming on the attack here now at the far side. Deegan slots this in, and what a catch, Matt Feehan. It is the Treacys who are pumping clear in this game. 3-2 up now.
Savage catch by Matt Feehan there at full forward. Threw it out to Pat Deegan, who, while wearing 9, is playing a wing forward, and he's causing a lot of problems. He's a direct runner.
And now, short one this time to Philly Purcell. Sent out the feed now over here and just breaking inside, and it's gone out over the line, and it is going to be a line ball for Gortnahoe, and it is Carl Campion who will take this, and Campion just sizing it up here and getting ready to go. Cuts it in along the ground, and it's a little blow on the head there for Brian Carey, so it is going to be a free for Sean Treacy's there, just a loose hurley, and he'll just take a minute here just to get his breath, and the physio is in with him right now.
And I see Shane Stapleton coming out to hit the free, a great long range free taker, great striker of the ball. His brother Dinny would have soldiered for years with Sean Treacy's. This lad is a really good young goalkeeper and is a promising future, Stephen.
So he's standing up over this one here and just waiting to see what's on now down the field, and looking like Keane said he is going to go for the point here. Strikes it in all the way in, and it is just drifting off to the left and just outside the left upright, and it has just gone wide. Still 3 points for Treacy's, 2 for Gortnahoe. Lively start to this game. Two good teams, both eager just to get the scores, and they have the forwards as well. Long one sent out the far side of the field, just batted down over there. It's Pat Deegan who gathers now. Leaves it off to Jody Ryan. Jody Ryan moves it up along the line straight away. Coming out to meet it now is Davy Nolan, full back here. Comes out, gathers this, leaves it off to Barneville, the centre back, and he moves it on again to Campion, and a good clash of the ash out there. Tom Hickey does well to win it back. Hickey leaves it off now as far as Chris Egan. Egan trying to manufacture something, and away to go here. It's Shawnee Ryan. Shawnee Ryan filters it back out now to Pat Deegan. Deegan with the shot. It's going to drop short though, and it does drop into the keeper's hands, and away he goes here now. Steady play out as far as Nolan, the fullback. Sailing out now from defence, out towards the 45, doing well here, shakes off 2 tackles and hand passes that ball well here onto Campion. Campion now moves it on another 30 yards now, just a little high there for Brian Maher, but he tries to control it, it just spills away. Barneville now, the centre back, moves it on again. Good play here from Gortnahoe. They've worked it out to Jack Moore. Jack Moore with the effort all the way in, and it's accurate. It's over the bar. A good score again, 3 apiece here, 7 on the clock.
Lovely play from Martin Barneville linking up with Shea Butler, and a fine finish there. Interesting to see that Davy Nolan is the spare player for Gortnahoe Glengoole. He's getting on a lot of balls so far.
Short one here, but Treacys have messed up the puck out, and it is another score. Kevin Slattery this time just mopped up the error there and put it over the bar for Gortnahoe Glengoole, and they just move a bit clearer in this one here now as the keeper gets ready again. Stapleton, long high one all the way up the field, breaking again. Gortnahoe first to pounce here. Butler on it now, moves it on into the middle of the field there. Chris Egan reads the play well though, and just did well to connect with that, but it breaks free out as far as Guilfoyle trying to gather something here for Gortnahoe. They're coming on the attack again. It's Jack Moore. He's broke the line. Away he goes. Jack Moore sailing in, heading for the 21. Two of them after him, and they did well just to put him off. Filters that ball outside him here, and the shot goes in here, and this one has just been deflected out for a 65. So it is a chance for Gortnahoe. A great drive and run there from Jack Moore.
Yeah, Jack Moore's influence on the game is growing. His sister Ellen would be a member of the Tipp Ladies football senior panel, so great pedigree there. He's a real pacey runner and real athlete in the middle of the field.
So just getting ready here in the middle now, and it is going to be Tehan who will take this one, and they're running at him early, Keane, aren't they?
Yeah, it seems to be a ply from Gortnahoe Glengoole. When they get the ball, they're driving at the shoulder and going for the goal.
Here we go. Ronan Tehan sends it in all the way in and over the bar. Great score again there, and Tehan moves back into centre forward as they get ready to go again. Sharp puck out this time from the Treacys, out to Hickey and back to the keeper again. Now St. Long down the field up towards the half forward line. Hurleys go up and it's just knocked down there. Who'll be quickest to react here? It's Treacys. It's Shawnee Ryan on this ball. Shawnee Ryan has to swing it back across the goals over the far side of the field now. Pat Deegan sprinting out to meet it. Challenged out there by Colin Guilfoyle. He makes the angle tight and just too tight for himself, and just needed to come back inside rather than heading towards the line. And it is 5 for Gortnahoe Glengoole, 3 points for Sean Treacys, 9.5 on the clock here. Short one out to the fullback this time. Nolan moves it on again here. They're trying to just work that ball nice and steady up along the line. Sent long by the corner back up towards the corner forward. Fahy gets a little flick on it there, and they've worked that ball into the middle now. Brian Maher coming to meet it. Brian Maher just leaves it there though, and it is won again by Moore. Moore feeds it on again, and great hooking and blocking going in there. Feehan in now, turns it over for Treacys, and away come the Treacys here, but again Gortnahoe take it back off him. They've worked it back out now to Brian Maher. Brian Maher on the run, on the 65, sends it high, long and over the bar. A great score again for the red and white.
Brilliant score by Brian Maher. Man of the match in the last game against Ballina, 3 points that day. A score for the young player will get him settled rightly well into the game.
This one sent high up again, looking for the wing forward up there, Matt Feehan, but it comes down, and it is won again by Gortnahoe. But the ball is just spilled there. Tom Hickey comes in with a hard challenge there just to win it back again, and it's taken now by Shawnee Ryan. Shawnee Ryan filters it straight across the field here again. Quick play here from the two corner forwards. It's Carey now in possession, and Carey slots it over the bar. Patrick Carey, the corner forward, looked one way, shook his man off, turned and put it over the bar the other side. 6-4 for Gortnahoe currently. Short one out here again, out to McCarthy, the corner back now, and he moves it up the line, and just up there near Ronan Stanley, the manager from Gortnahoe, of course, who worked for many years hurling with their team down along there, soldiering with the likes of John Tehan, another great player of that era for Gortnahoe Glengoole. But Ronan Stanley, the manager down there, will have this team well drilled today, but it is going to be a line ball for Paul Nolan and the Treacys. This one cut in there along the line. It's won by Gortnahoe, but can't get clean possession. Hickey in with a challenge. Ball just spills free now out on top of Martin Barneville now. Barneville, nice hands to just leave that ball back to the full back, and Nolan sends it long down the field. Hopping ball now, dangerous one for Treacys. Hickey is alert though. Hickey is there, the full back. Back to Stapleton. Stapleton's under pressure now though. There's two of them on him, and he's lost the ball here. It's broken free. It's Fahy. Just gets a little flick back. Can they go for a goal here? The shot comes in, and it's blazed over the bar. Kevin Slattery with the point. The goal was on there. Treacy's just trying to play the ball too much maybe in their own full back line, Keane.
Brilliant work rate from Garrod Fahy. Big turnover on Shane Stapleton, and a great score by Kevin Slattery, his second of the game.
Here we go, breaking ball now up the far side of the field. Again, it's Treacy's coming on the attack here now, and it is Brian Carey who just was closest to it. It's gone out over the line. It's going to be a line ball for the Treacys. Tom Hickey will have a go at this. Another good sideline sorcerer here, and he just gets ready with this one. He'll go for a score as well, similar to Ronan Tehan at the other side cuts this in, but it's going to drop short now. It just kept in play in there, but the umpire overrules, and the umpire says that it has gone wide. So 7-4, Gortnahoe ahead here. 12 on the clock. Treacys looking to just get going in this. They got a great result against Killinall there recently, and they're looking to just continue here and get a win in the stadium. This one sent long down the field, breaking ball up there, and again it's Ronan Tehan. Tehan now takes on his man, and off he goes solo and in through that defence, and three Treacy's lads on him now. It's fed back outside him here though, and it is another shot coming in, this time from Fionn Cleary, and Fionn Cleary, a cool, sharp shooter at 10. A great score.
Yeah, it's his second point of the game. First one off his left, second off his right. Great player, Fionn Cleary.
Now ball breaking out here again. Treacy's winner, and it's worked up along past the 45. Ball just comes off the Treacy's man. Ronan Stanley is fairly insistent it is their ball, and they try and take it quick here, but too quick for that referee out there. He wants things just done by the book. Players have to move back the required distance, and we get ready here for the fullback to strike this one. So Davy Nolan just they're getting ready, and they're being told just to move back out the field by the management and get ready for this. And it's a good sideline cut all the way up here, and they've got another one now just inside the 45 this time. Sean Hickey just out with the hurley just to deflect it out. He's heavily strapped today, his knee heavily bandaged going into this game, but is a rock there at full back for the Treacys as Ronan Tehan sizes up this one. He got a sideline over the other side. How'll he go at this? Here we go. It is Ronan Tehan cuts it in low along the ground this time, and it's just breaking inside in the full forward line now. They're trying to gather it inside there. The full forward Slattery just tried to control it, but didn't do so. Feels he should have a 65, but it's not given.
Yeah, it looked like a 65 from where I was sitting, Stephen, but Kevin Slattery started really well. Great player, inter-county experience, a county minor All-Ireland winner in 2012.
Long one out in the middle of the field now, and Treacy's win this ball, and away they go here now. It is Pat Deegan soloing in, little flick on that now, ball breaking outside, and it's won back out there brilliantly by Gortnahoe, and they try and filter that ball out. Barneville going up for this, but it's been taken off them again, and Treacy's come on the attack once more. A long range one coming in across the goals this time, but it just tails out, and it has gone to the right and wide. It's still 8-4, and that's a big enough lead after 14 minutes.
It is just coming up to the first water break, Stephen, and the Gortnahoe spread of scores has been much greater. A big reliance on Patrick Carey from Sean Treacy so far.
Now long one down here, breaking in front of the wing forwards and the wing backs out there, and it is going to be Chris Egan who tries to take that ball over the line and does well just to manufacture a line ball out there, and the linesman just moving back there and getting the other players to move back up the field here. Natal O'Grady there on the line, of course, for Treacy's, very influential in Limerick GAA. And this one is just, it's just caught wrong. Just eyes off the ball for a split second. And Chris Egan will be disappointed with that one. And it gives a scoring chance here to Ronan Tehan now for Gortnahoe Glengoole. And it can just happen with line balls so easy. The second one, if he had a chance, probably would have gone 60 yards. But here we go. It's Tehan. Tehan cuts this one into the corner now. This time sprinting out to meet it is Kevin Slattery. And the ball has just drifted wide again. And it looks to be the water break stage already. That 16 minutes absolutely flew, didn't it?
Yeah, great start, Stephen. Very evident that Gortnahoe Glengoole taking the ball forward at every opportunity. There's an awful lot of space in Semple Stadium, as we all know, and just to carry the ball, to bring it on and create chance for themselves. A wide variety of scores for Gortnahoe. Kevin Slattery is 2, Ronan Tehan a great line ball over the newsstand side, Fionn Cleary a 2, Jack Moore, Brian Marr. So a real spread of scores. When you look at the Sean Treacy side, 3 from Patrick Carey, 2 brilliant points from play, and 1 from Pat Deegan. So maybe not the variety of scores that Gortnahoe Glengoole have.
Yeah, and when they're coming on the attack there, you're looking at Tom Hickey, Patrick Carey getting on ball, but the Gortnahoe full back line are doing well enough just to push them towards the sideline. So, you know, it's not a straightforward chance.
Yeah, and the setup is really working well for Gortnahoe Glengoole, particularly in the defensive segment. Enda McCarthy and Philly Person are really comfortable inside backs, man markers, they have speed, they're tenacious. And then Davy Nolan, by virtue of Sean Treacy's having a sweeper, he's their free man and he's sitting in front and he's getting on a lot of balls. So I'd say Ronan Stanley and Keith Corbett and Leonard Stanley will be really, really happy with this start for Gortnahoe Glengoole.
And looking at the likes of Ronan Tehan bursting through the middle there. You had him coming through a few times. Fionn Cleary as well. They're really good travelling with the ball. And Treacys the full back line are under pressure a little bit.
They're under a little bit of pressure there. I think Kevin Slattery is a huge focal point for Gortnahoe there, and Fionn Cleary, Dara Maher, Garrod Fahy all playing off him. But he's a huge presence there, and he has 2 lovely points so far, Steve.
So it is Gortnahoe ahead at this portion of the game here. 8 points, playing 4 here in this one. This group is wide open. This is a huge game, really, isn't it?
A massive game. The winner of this will really give themselves a great chance of getting through to a quarter final. If Gortnahoe win it, it'll mean 2 from 2. They'll have 1 foot in that quarter final. If Sean Treacy's there to win it, to add to the draw against Killinall, it'll be a big result. And obviously today Ballina playing Killinall in a must-win game.
So here we go again. It's pucked out by Stapleton out the far side of the field, and it's won out there by Barneville for Gortnahoe, and away he goes, soloing in, heading for the 45. Oh, great block in there just to deflect it away, and Treacy's recover, and away they go now. This time through Paul Nolan. Ball just spills free now, though. It's Ronan Tehan who gathers it back. Oh, great vision to spot Fionn Cleary unmarked here, and it's a goal! A goal for Fionn Cleary and Gortnahoe Glengoole. The vision to see the free man, and it was Cleary who banged it to the net.
Unbelievable skill from Ronan Tehan. One-handed flick straight across the Fionn Cleary, and then hit it low on a wet day. Always you have a chance of hitting the back of the net.
And it is now 1-8, playing 4 points. Long puck out the far side of the field. Gortnahoe coming on the attack once more. They mean business here today. Past the 65, all the way in now. It's still the fullback, Davy Nolan. And Davy Nolan goes down on the deck here. What a run. Similar to that brilliant run by Dan McCormick last night to ignite the Borris Elite Challenge against Kilruan. He got injured in the process. Davy Nolan is up and moving though, but they have a free in, and really now this game is getting away from Treacys. They need to react quick.
That's a huge surging run from Davy Nolan. It's inspirational stuff, and that is the problem, Stephen, when you leave a player the calibre of Davy Nolan free in a game.
So here we go. It is Tehan now. Tehan hits it high and over the bar at the town end. Another score in this, and it is now 1-9 for Gortnahoe Glengoole. Treacys 4 points, so that's an 8-point lead built up after 17 minutes. Treacys looking like they're going to need goals to stay in this game, but they will have heart and spirit. They'll stay fighting till the end, you can be sure of that. But it is Gortnahoe in possession again. This is a purple patch from here. This ball worked out now by Brian Maher. Brian Maher with a long range one, and Brian Maher with a fantastic score from out the field. They're hurling above themselves here.
Oh, they're playing with real confidence here, Stephen. Brian Maher's 2nd point for a young player. He really knows where the posts are for a wing back.
Here we go, long one out the far side of the field. Breaking ball out there, and again it's won by Gortnahoe. Fionn Cleary now. Cleary fires it into space now. Oh, nice one here for the corner forward to run onto Garrod Fahy, trying to gather it now. Feeds it back outside. Martin Barneville just bottled up out there, and good play by Treacys. They're tigerish in the attack. They're not leaving anything off here, and away they go. They need a couple of scores. They need it quick too. Pat Deegan hits this one in around the house. Dangerous ball hopping in there, but again the full back line just resolute in there. Into McCarthy feeds it outside, does well now, and it's worked back out by Gortnahoe. Long ball straight up the field again, up towards the corner forward. Dara Maher coming out to Misha, but Treacys are there. Treacys have this now. Ball just spills free. 3 blue and gold jerseys. They work it out here now. They need to just steady on the ball. It's Ryan coming through, and he's fouled, and he has a free, and really they need to get that scoreboard ticking, it feels like.
Yeah, and it's really interesting now that Sean Treacy brought Shawnee Ryan out to the middle of the field. I think they need him there. They need his influence there. They need to get him on the ball. But it is leaving Patrick Carey very exposed inside. It's 1v2 basically inside, and it's tough for him to get on the ball. But they do need Shawnee Ryan in the middle of the field.
Do you think that they're going to have to just change tack in this game, or how would you approach it as a manager?
Yeah, it's difficult. All year they've really played with a sweeper system, and it has worked fairly well for them. But on this evidence, I think they probably need to push up and go man for man and just take it on. And I think have no excuses, have no one free, and just go for it.
Good stuff here with Keane Treacy today as we get ready for this one. It is Patrick Carey, the FBD Insurance Round 2 Oreen Championship. He sends it in, but it's out and wide. It's still 110 to 4 points. Treacy's badly in need of a score here, but it's Gortnahoe with a sharp puck out to Davy Nolan. Davy Nolan now in possession. Leaves off this ball off as far as into McCarthy. McCarthy works it straight up the line now, all the way up here. Hopping ball in front of Shea Butler. Shea Butler there trying to come out and gather that. Does well and just moves it on, but linesman says he's taken too much out of it. It's gone over the line, and it is going to be a line ball for the Treacys, and they look to have a player down injured the far side as well, Keane.
Yeah, and just that on that last free, the miss by Patrick Carey, it's an energy sucker. At times like this, when you badly need scores, it's just such a drain of energy. And Sean Treacy needs every single one of them. They're after hitting a lull period since the water break, and Gortnahoe Glengoole are in total control in this second quarter.
So it is Chris Egan just receiving a bit of treatment over the far side of the field, the wing back. He was stuck in there, but they just seem to be leaving gaps, don't they, for Gortnahoe to run into. And like, the Gortnahoe are going to punish that all day.
Absolutely, and it's interesting just to see from our viewpoint that there seems to be space for every one of the Gortnahoe forwards when the ball is in their vicinity. Contrastingly, at the other end, there seems to be no space for the Sean Treacy's forwards. So the game plan is working very well for Gortnahoe Glengoole so far.
Oh, this line ball was just cut over the line at the far side, and it is going to be now a Gortnahoe line ball and another scoring chance for Ronan Tehan. So Tehan here, a bit of a dead ball expert, and he's got one fantastic line ball so far. Here he goes, and he's been told to bring it right up here, up near the 21. It probably makes it even a harder angle though, does it?
Yeah, it's actually tougher going closer to the 21-yard line. He's actually better at the line balls from that side of the field. He got one already, so it'll be interesting to see what he does here.
Here we go. Ronan Tehan cuts this one in, all the way in, and it's just drifted out, and it has gone wide this time. Good effort, but just had the distance, but just not going the right way. So here we go. St. Long down the field, breaking ball over there. Jack Moore coming together, but it's won by Treacy's Shawnee Ryan. Shawnee Ryan sends it in, and that's the leadership. That's the score they've required. You can hear them cheering over there, all the Treacy supporters here from Kilcommon and Hollyford, and they're all here in Thurles today for this one. It's now 5 playing 110. Long puck out here, out the line, and this one goes out over the line, and a chance now for Treacy's just to gather possession, and Chris Egan is leaving this line ball, and it is going to be struck this time by Tom Hickey. So Hickey just lining it up closer to the 65 than the 45, just here at the Canaan stand side in Thurles where we are. It cuts it straight down the line, and it just took a little deflection there. It's going to be another line ball. He's going to have another go. He's sprinting up here to try and take this, and this is a scoreable one if he can connect right with this and steady himself now just outside the 45 here. It is going to be Tom Hickey who would strike it. 2 or 3 players nearby there. They're moving back, cuts it in around the house there, but it's just deflected down on the deck, and now they have a free in, and this is a very scoreable free in there. It was Matt Feehan that was fouled.
Yeah, and all these scores are vital just to keep Sean Treacy's in the game, just to keep him hanging in there as we tick towards half time. Their first score was 7.5 minutes from the water break before they got a score. I'm certain Patrick Carey will score this, and it'll just eat into that lead that Gortnahoe have built up. Yeah,
if they could just slow down the Gortnahoe attacks, really.
Yeah, that's really what they need to stop these runners, particularly coming from deep from the half back line, the likes of Brian Maher and these guys. Stop those runs and get a foothold in the game.
So 6 points now for Treacy's as that one went over the bar. 110 for Gortnahoe, and away we go out the middle of the field. Moore again. Moore leaves it off to Carl Campion in midfield. Campion soloing through here. Oh, good play there by the Treacy's, and they've just filtered out that attack. They've worked it out now to Matt Feehan. Matt Feehan works that ball on again now, straight up here towards Shawnee Ryan. He's everywhere at the minute. Shawnee Ryan sends it high in, and it's just tailed out at the last second. He felt it was over the bar, and so did the backroom team down here, but probably over the post.
Yeah, I think it might have curled in just after it went wide, just over the post.
So long one out now, breaking over the far side. Garrod Fahy again. Fahy does well here now. Filters it back out to Barneville. Barneville here sends it in around the house. Dangerous ball in there on top of Slattery. But keeper comes out and nice and steady in there, and he just works that ball out. Good steady keeper Shane Stapleton, following the footsteps of Manny's the great Treacy's keeper, as Gortnahoe win this ball and work it back inside now. It's back in towards the full forward line. Here we go again. It is won there by Slattery. Good clever ball across the field here, and they've loads of players looking for it, and it is Brian Maher, and Brian Maher has slotted it over the bar at the town end for Gortnahoe.
And Brian Maher's third point of the game seems to be operating around midfield now. Super ball from Kevin Slattery again across.
Long one now, long puck out over the far side, and a push in the back there, and I think it's Enda McCarthy. The ref is just speaking to there, and he had words with the referee just afterwards, but a little tick in the book there, and it is going to be a free in. Another chance here for Carey, and Carey has to keep that scoreboard ticking over. What is it, 8 at the minute? So, 7-8 points, it's not a lot if they keep it, under 10 perhaps.
Yeah, just keep that, as I mentioned earlier, keep that scoreboard ticking over. All these frees count on a day like today, and just hope you get a chance for a 3-pointer and for a goal to close the gap again. Shawnee
Ryan appears to have made a big impact out around the middle.
Yeah, I think Shawnee's a lot more comfortable. Did a lot of his hurling at County Minor. He hurled for Thurles CBS and Harty around the middle of the field, half back line. I think he's more comfortable there, Stephen.
Long ball hit out here and breaking, and again it's the aforementioned Shawnee Ryan who gathers that ball. Shawnee Ryan thriving on it here, and he sends it in around the house, just dropping short, but he's got his free. The subs down here below us with the blue and gold Treacy's jerseys, all delighted with that, and his work rate in particular here. He's got another free and another chance here for Patrick Carey just to reduce that gap again, and it is the Treacys once more just coming into this game more and more as we approach half time here. 26 on the clock. It's the FBD Insurance round 2. You're tuned to the Tipperary GAA stream here as Treacys get ready for this free just from his own 65. It is Patrick Carey, rises, strikes all the way towards the Kalainen end, and it hits the post, back into play. Dangerous ball now, breaking in front of Carey. Brian Carey has it. Brian Carey has a free if he needs it, but it's played back outside to Patrick Carey, and the shot comes in and over the bar this time. Brian Carey back out to Patrick. Ref was going to play an advantage there, but they'll be happy enough just get it from play.
Yeah, Patrick Carey, another lovely strike. He really is keeping him in this game.
111, clean 8 points now. 27 on the clock. Long one here. Breaking ball out towards the middle of the field now. Hopping out there, and it's won again by Treacys. Ryan moves it on again, and a little overhead flick there. Beautiful little flick on, but it is Deegan trying to gather it. Now leaves it there. Tom Hickey comes to take. Tom Hickey now working it in, and it's just gone over the bar, just about. Tom Hickey was dropping it over the crossbar. Keeper just gave it a little flick, and it did go over the bar. Trying to keep it in play there, but it is Timmy Dunn here with a quick one out to Davy Nolan now. 111 playing 9. Treacy's firing in all cylinders at the minute. Gortnahoe haven't scored for a while here, but they're coming now once more on the attack. It's Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle trying to gather this. Challenged out there by Paul Nolan, and it is Treacy's once more who worked this ball out the field. Good play. Waiting for it was Feehan and laid off this ball. Now the shot comes all the way in across the goals and out and wide. Still 111 playing 9.
Sean Treacy's really coming back into the game though, Stephen. Getting on top around the middle of the field. Jody Ryan getting to grips there at Ronan Teehan. And it's a game on here now.
So keeper lining it up here, and the ref is just going to have a word out there with Pat Deegan and Brian Maher in centre field. And I think Pat Deegan is saying, look at my arm. And the ref just shakes his head and blows the whistle. We're ready to go again. And it is Timmy Dunn. Sends this one high, all the way down, looking for the wing forwards now. Ball just hops down there, and it's down on the deck. First to react is a blue and gold jersey, and they've worked it out. Good play by Mike Feehan to work it up the field here, up as far as Matt. Feehan, Matt now sends this one in. Hopping ball inside now, a bit of room for Brian Carey. Brian Carey coming through the middle. Brian Carey with the shot. Oh, great defensive play in there. Enda McCarthy did enough with a little flick just to put him off. The lines were cleared now, out the field. Shawnee Ryan works it in the middle here now. Treacy's coming again. Brian Carey now, they've worked it back out to Andrew O'Brien. O'Brien moves it on again here. Treacy's just trying to get the ball on, but again it's bottled up, and it's Andrew O'Brien who has to retrieve it here. Andrew O'Brien moves it back out to Jody Ryan. Jody Ryan, time and room, looking for a free man to pass it to. There's no one looking though, and it's sent into space over the far side of the field. Sprinting in there is Shawnee Ryan. Shawnee Ryan, away he goes now. Takes on his man. It's Shawnee Ryan coming through the middle here, and he's just sent it to the near post, and it's gone wide. So 111 to 9 points still.
Massive last-ditch tackle by Enda McCarthy in the last play to stop a near certain goal. But the influence of Shawnee Ryan is massive on this game now, Stephen. He's really coming into it. He's driving Sean Treacy's forward, and they're on the front foot now. Mikey Feehan coming into it as sweeper. So they're on top for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Timmy Dunn now, long one down the field, hopping ball down there, and Treacy's win it again, and then try and just work it out. It is going to be a line ball for the Treacys. Took a little deflection in there. Good defensive play inside there with Mike Feehan to the fore for them, and also there to back him up is Mackey inside at cornerback. But this one is going to be cut here by Tom Hickey. Sends it into the corner all the way in now. Ball isn't going to go dead. Full back sprinting to get there. Davy Nolan, he's fairly shattered after his fairly intense first half. He's been involved a lot in the last few minutes, and it's good, calm, measured play by Gortnahoe to work that ball out the far side of the field, trying to make some room and get some effort for themselves here. Barneville, long ball in towards the full forward line, hopping in front of Darramar. Ball breaks free now to Ronan Tehan. Tehan takes on his man, and he got a hard crack at a hurley, and Mike Feehan is the player, and the refs going to call him over here. His name is going in the book, and Tehan up will get this free, but took a hard crack, but I suppose the Treacy's player felt he had to.
Yeah, Ronan Tehan, he's a really clever player, Stephen, and he's getting around, he's creating chances. He mightn't have much from play himself, but he's so dangerous when he's on the ball. I think Mikey Feehan knew it spelled danger and had to take him out, and took the yellow card for the team. So
here we go. Ronan Tehan with this one right in front of the post at the town end. Slots it over the bar. Good score for Gortnahoe, and that just is what they really needed.
Yeah, and they needed a score. They'd gone several minutes without a score, and that just ticks it on to 6 points, just coming up to half time. Mike
Feehan now takes the sharp puck out again, plays a quick 1-2, gathers it back again. Here we go. Centre back drives it down the field all the way up towards the half forward line. Ball over near the side with Jack Moore fighting hard. It does very well for Gortnahoe to win that ball. Quick little pop pass out, and then it's on to Campion and on again to Moore, and they've got that ball worked in now near the 21. Breaking in there, it's Butler. Shea Butler coming together, does really well, and Shea Butler wins himself a free in there. Took another hard crack at a hurley, and that's really what Treacy's have to do, I suppose. They've often played up there, and I'll tell you, they know how to use the timber like we do in Upper Church too.
I'm not sure about that, Stephen. I think from playing Upper Church over the years, they're well able to use it. What's really evident is that the forwards for Gortnahoe are really good to win their own ball, and they're putting the Sean Treacy's inside backline under ferocious pressure every time the ball comes in. Another free here now for Ronan Tehan.
So Tehan just outside the 21 sends it over the bar, and the half-time whistle has just sounded here. 112 to 9 points. Credit Sean Treacy's there for the way they work back into that game. And, you know, like the backs are really just standing up now, and they're saying, Ronan Tehan, you're not getting through here again. You come near me again, you'll feel it for the next 20 minutes. And, like, I think maybe if they'd done that earlier, they'd have maybe stopped the forwards running through at such pace.
Yeah, particularly that opening quarter, Stephen, they found it hard to counteract the running game from Gortnahoe Glengoole. The problem with a running game is that it's very hard to do it for a full 60 minutes. And at times you need to have a little bit of downtime. But they are struggling, particularly around that middle third, Sean Treacy, to get to grips with the likes of Brian Moore, Jack Moore, Fionn Cleary, Ronan Tehan, all these runners. It is a hard style to counteract. But credit to Sean Treacy, they are hanging on in there. The last two frees from Ronan Tehan probably stretched the lead to 7 points, which is, I think, a fair reflection on that first half.
Yeah, Shawnee Ryan for Sean Treacy. What a player.
A brilliant player, a man who was in on the inter-county panel senior hurlers under Mick Ryan. So he had a great experience, played under 21, played minor for Tipperary, a great Harty Cup player for Thurles CBS. He's full of heart and full of guts, and I suppose he really epitomises what Sean Treacy's are all about. And, you know, a point from Sean Ryan Rogers is probably worth more to Sean Treacy's than what it means on the scoreboard. He is their leader, he is their focal point, And I think in their inside forward line, Patrick Carey doing well. He's in there actually with his brother Brian, but there's no focal point there. And in other years they would have had Jody Ryan in there, and he was a real focal point. But with him at centre back, they're probably robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Great stuff, Keane. Treacy here. It is half time here in Thurles. Gortnahoe Glengoole 113. Sean Treacy's 9 points. This game is wide open. Can't wait for the second half. It's going to be great. We're going to take a quick break here, and we're back with the second half very, very soon. You're very welcome back to Semple Stadium here. We're looking out at the field here, and it's in great nick. Sean Treacy's just here below us where we are in the Canaan stand side. Natal O'Grady down there with them, and they're well in this. You know, they got a good result against Killinall last time out. They can't allow a good start now for Gortnahoe to get that good start, because if Gortnahoe do, it could be out of sight.
Yeah, a lot of managers will talk now about the third quarter, but really it's about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. Who's going to win that? If Gortnahoe get another couple of points, it's probably kicking them for home. Whereas if Sean Treacy's get the opening couple of points, they're right back in it again. So this 5 minutes is absolutely vital to the outcome of the game.
And like Shawnee Ryan is the player that they have there to go to. Mike Feehan doing great work at centre back. Pat Deegan and Jody Ryan working their socks off. Patrick Carey will do well on the frees. Matt Feehan doing well too. But Shawnee Ryan is he is just that X factor. And like, isn't it such a bonus for a club to have a player of the calibre of him now?
Yeah, when a club has at either intermediate or senior B has a county senior standard player, it really drives on. And we've seen it over the years. You know, Shane McGran, Ballinhinch, Michael Breen with Ballina. When clubs have that, it's very, very hard for teams to stop that when you have a senior county standard player, and Shawnee Ryan is definitely that standard for them, and they kind of stand out above the crowd, really.
Yeah, and looking at Gortnahoe then, in this one, like, they are in the driving seat here, really, you know. I mean, like, Ronan Stanley, knowing Ronan, he's working with them all year. He's thinking about what he can do to get this right. Really organised, really good manager for them. Has soldiered there many years for Gortnahoe himself. And, like, he has them ticking really well. He has them playing a certain style of hurling. They're running with that ball. Treacys, you know, they have to foul them at this stage to knock them off their stride, because you've Ronan Tehan running at you, Fionn Cleary, Kevin Slattery. They're coming in waves there.
Yeah, they seem to have a really good setup, and they're really well coached. And a particular style of play, this running style of play, heads up hurling, playing through the lines, and that's credit to the three boys over them that they haven't played so well. In the last 2 years, they've hardly lost a game. Even in the Cal Cup, they got to the final. They were defeated pretty well by Drummond Inch on the night. But, like, they're really flying all year, and they're playing with huge belief and huge hunger, and they're trying to carry on. I think I saw in Shane Brophy's preview of the game, can they do a Meath ladies football and go right from intermediate on to win the Senior B? And I think they're really dark horses, Stephen, as I spoke to you earlier about, for this competition.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to that Cahill Cup, they just met with such fire and venom in that, you know, who they played. They played Upchurch, beat Upchurch in that. Like, they really just wanted silverware again this year.
Yeah, silverware is a huge thing for this group. I think they got a taste of it last year, winning the intermediate county final, and they just want more and more, and I think they're going to be a really competitive team for the years to come in Senior B, and I'm sure in the not too distant future you will see Gortnahoe Glengoole in the Senior A ranks, particularly with the underage success they're having. And this group of players have won an awful lot underage, of 16 county finals, minor county finals and 21 county finals. So I'm sure this group is the group that are going to carry Gortnahoe Glengoole into the Senior A ranks, into the Dan Breen ranks. Yeah, just for a minute, Keane, let's just talk about the other games in the Oreen Cup. You're manager of Turles Sarsfields. You're up against Killadangan in Templederry, 5:30 today. Like, I know you've half your mind on this as well. Like, you're here 100%, but that's in the back of your head. Yeah, for me, Stephen, that's the big game of the day. We had a really good win against Carrick Swans in the first round. But all the first round really does is, if you win that game, is keep you in the championship or give you a platform in the championship. Today is a massive game for both clubs. A huge win for Killadangan against Burgess in the first round. And I just think this is going to be a humdinger in Templederry later on. Could go either way. Killadangan are a club really on the rise. A Dan Breen victory last year for them, their first ever. And this is the product of a lot of great underage work by Dara Egan in the club and others in the club that have brought Killadangan forward. And they're going to be as tough a game as we'll get in this championship. Yeah, and just thinking about Sarsfields, I'm just looking down at your field outside Semple Stadium at this moment. There's kids training down there, you know. There's girls playing football, there's girls playing camogie under 10s. It's being used all the time. You have new fields out here by Killinen as well. And Sarsfields has, is it 4 senior adult teams, senior, intermediate, junior A and B, is that right? Yeah, 4 adult teams, and just real crop of players, and huge thanks to Dorlas Og. Huge work being done in Dorlas Og at underage level. But it's great to see the mixture of female and male players within our club, and it's a club that's thriving with the recent developments in Tor Killinen, and we're just really looking forward to the future and keeping kicking on strong, and it's just great. It's a great development out in Tor. Lots of good games in the Oreen Cup. There's a lot of other ones on this weekend. What's the standout one? I suppose the standout one is Ballina and Killinall in this group, because both are in Last Chance Saloon, you know. They're dining in Last Chance Saloon, and both need a big win, and 2 of them would have been favourites at the start of this competition. And the other 2 in the group are in action here. The winner here will take it all here, and it is Gortnahoe in possession with the second half just underway here. Straight away, foraging for possession, trying to kick it out, and great battling again by the Treacys. Matt Feehan does brilliantly to gather that ball and somehow take it out of there. It's fed on to Pat Deegan. Pat Deegan now in possession, and he's half blocked out there. It's great play by Barnaville, Martin Barnaville, the centre back.
works it out now to Colm Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle up the field here now. Away he goes, soloing on here. Oh, brilliant little flick there by Shawnee Ryan to take the ball away from him. It's still out loose now. Oh, this is some fighting for the ball here, and it is Colm Guilfoyle who wins it back. Another little flick from the Treacys. Out again, let fly now by Ronan Tehan into the middle of the field. Shea Butler coming out to gather it. It's worked on again. It's out now as far as Jack Moore. Jack Moore over the bar. The fight, the forage, the battling to get the ball, to get possession, the point for Gortnahoe.
A brilliant second score from Jack Moore. We talked about a fast start being needed by Sean Treacy. That's just the start Gortnahoe will want.
Long puck out down the field here now. Oh, great take by the centre forward. And Brian Carey responds with an earnest score for Sean Treacy's. A brilliant puck out by Shane Stapleton there to find him as Gortnahoe coming the attack again. Quick one out to Enda McCarthy. Enda McCarthy now, long ball up the field, sends it up towards Kevin Slattery. This ball just breaking outside. Slattery just gone the other direction, but he's called into action now. Gathers it, does well, away he goes. Kevin Slattery down to the 21 now, feeds it inside. Good ball into Ronan Tehan. Tehan is through on goal now. He shoots. Oh, it's just across the goals and out the far side. Little flick back by Garrod Fahy now, back outside him here. Another effort coming in, and this one has gone over the bar. Adrian Marr with the point for Gortnahoe Glengoole.
Fantastic run there down the old stand side by Kevin Slattery to nearly set up Ronan Tehan for a goal. Some consolation, a point by Adrian Marr there off his left hand side.
Long one out the far side, and it's just gone out the far side opposite us over there. It is going to be Carl Campion who will stand over this and cuts it back quickly now, back as far as Davy Nolan. Davy Nolan under pressure. Great fighting again from the Treacys lads, not giving any ball easily away as it's sent long down the field. It's Treacys who have it here. They feel there should have been a free, and they've got a player down injured at the far side of the field just after that ball was cleared. Physio is going in, but we'll follow the ball, and it is just out here. It's Jack Moore. Jack Moore now. It's Carl Campion who gathers, does really well, feeds it inside to Brian Marr. Brian Marr on the attack, soloing inside. Brian Marr feeds it onto the full forward. Slattery, oh, brilliant play by Shane Stapleton just to put off Slattery. It reminds you of Seamus Butler back the years for the Treacys as he was fighting so well down the years in goals. Shane Stapleton with a brilliant play there. Now the referee has spotted that injury to the Treacys player at the other end, and it is going to be a hold up here in the play just while he receives a bit of treatment down this side.
Really brave goalkeeping by Shane Stapleton there, and he's kept his side in this game. Brilliant block on Kevin Slattery. Very like Nicky Quaid's block on Seamus Harrington in the All-Ireland semi-final in 2018.
Yeah.
Brave goalkeeping, came off the line, flicked the ball away. Super play by Shane Stapleton.
So a yellow card down here for Davy Nolan, and he's just up and moving. I think it was more a late challenge than anything there. The ball was just gone, and he just connected late. So Davy Nolan picks up a yellow, but it is going to be a free out for Treacys. 8 points in this game, 33 on the clock, 1:15 playing 10. Gortnahoe ahead. Shane Stapleton strikes this down the field, breaking on the 21, hopping ball in there, and it's a good take in there by Feehan. Feehan feeds it outside him now to Matt Deegan. Matt Deegan turns his man. Matt Deegan half blocked out there, and it's good play, and Brian Marr drives it for Gortnahoe way up the field. Hopping ball on the 45 now on the greasy side. A great take there by Fionn Cleary. Fionn Cleary takes on his man, but he's taken too much out of the ball, and Paul Nolan will have a free out, and I think the keeper will come out and have another go for another shot at the posts.
Yeah, Fionn Cleary had a great first half with a goal and 2 points. Went to take on his man there again, as Gortnahoe have been doing all day, but just took a little bit too much out of the ball. Interesting to see now, does Shane Stapleton get the distance here?
So Stapleton, away he goes, gathers and strikes. It's high and it's long. It's going to drop just short though, and it's just inside the 14. Batted out there now. Brian Carey quick to react. Brian Carey comes to take it now, turns his man and slots it back in across the goals, and this one just takes out to the left, and it has gone wide. So it's still 1:15 playing 10 points in this game. Gortnahoe ahead here as Timmy Dunn sizes it up, gets ready to go again. Another long puck out from Timmy. Down here now, breaking towards the wing forwards. Hurley's up for this one, and it is knocked down, and it's won out there by Shea Butler, but he's half blocked, and it's well done there by the Treacys just to send it up to the danger man here. Chris Egan with that good clearance. Ball just breaking up here in front as Dara Kennedy comes to gather. Dara Kennedy just off balance, had his angles wrong, and just couldn't hit it over the bar there, so it was just a difficult angle to strike from.
Yeah, and Dara Kennedy is on a half time. That was a difficult first shot for him, and just put it wide at the near side.
So keeper gets ready to go again and drives it over at the Rhinestone side over there, and little flick overhead there by Garrod Fahy, but the ball just spills, and Gortnahoe not given any room at all for any clearance, as Jody Ryan has to go back to retrieve it and hit it at the second attempt. They have to work so hard for every clearance. Ball up the field now again. It's Gortnahoe who react well. Brian Maher gets the advantage, and away he goes on the run. Has a free shot here. He sends it in, and this one just tails out, but the ref is calling it back, and it is going to be a free in now for Gortnahoe as play is just called back. So Brian Maher just did well to burst clear there, and they are keeping that scoreboard ticking. They're not letting Treacy's back.
They are. Brian Maher's been fantastic today. Brilliant burst forward. 3 great points from play. Has won a free there. I see there's one change at half time. It hasn't been announced on the Sean Treacy team. Dara Kennedy seems to be in for the captain, Donncha O'Brien.
So O'Brien just operating in around 12 when he was on the field of play there. But it is going to be a free here just from centre field. So difficult enough one. Slight breeze just since half time here. It's more at the Canaan stand side. It's affecting the flags here, but it's not at the Rhinestone side. So whatever angle it's coming in at from Dr. Morris Park. So this one is sent in, and it has tailed out, and it's gone wide this time. 1:15 playing 10 points here. Short one out as far as Feehan. Feehan shakes off his man. Lost the hurley though. Nice little kick along the deck onto Paul Nolan. Nolan works it on again to Chris Egan. Egan now, 4 of them on him now, looking for a free man to hit the ball to. Sends it out the far side of the field. Corner forward coming out to meet it. Patrick Carey, just ball too fast for him at the minute, and Gortnahoe again with possession there, and it's a chance for them to clear their lines. Brian Maher will come over to strike this one. Nice tidy hurler, and he'll have time and room and look to cut it up the field, and does so straight up along now, breaking in the middle now, and it is Gortnahoe again, quick to react out there. Butler does well, but just leaves it after him now. Carl Campion coming in to help him, but it's won back by Tom Hickey. Tom Hickey sends it on long into the far side of the field now, and another little flick on over there by the sub Dara Kennedy, but again Gortnahoe retrieved the ball, and it's sent long down the field, and it is going to be a free out. Davy Nolan just took a late strike there as he made that clearance.
Yeah, just a loose hurley from Shawnee Ryan on Davy Nolan. Davy Nolan has been hugely influential for Gortnahoe today. Real driving force from full back. I know he's playing in a free role really, but really, really influential. Joint captain of the team.
Shawnee Ryan picks up a yellow card for his troubles there, and like there's a lot of quality players on both sides, isn't there? There's like wing backs thriving and corner forwards thriving.
The Seamus Arena is a fantastic competition, Stephen. Real quality in the teams, and you know there is not much of a drop off from Dan Breen to Seamus Arena.
Now here we go, Timmy Dunn, long strike up the field now, and this ball just hops out of the hand of Fionn Cleary, but it breaks nicely for Tian. Tian is through, and Ronan Tian has buried it at the Kalainen end. A fantastic strike, low to the left of Shane Stapleton. A great finish, 2:15 playing 10.
Super finish from Ronan Tian. So quick onto the breaking ball, and the finish that every forward is told since they're young. Hit the ball low at the deck, right into the corner of the net.
Now breaking up the far side of the field again. It is just going to be a Treacy's line ball over there the far side. Gortnahoe just fighting hard, and it is tough now on Treacy's. They're going to need goals now without a doubt.
Yeah, that is a real kind of match decider for me. That's the one that puts real daylight between the two teams. They need a response really quickly, and they need a green flag.
Now this ball just fed inside. It's Treacy's coming on the attack now. They're trying to work that ball into a very scoreable position inside, and it's out to Shawnee Ryan, and Shawnee takes his point just from the 45, keeping the scoreboard ticking over.
Great leadership again by Shawnee Ryan. A score badly needed, and a good response to the goal from Gortnahoe Glengoole.
Short one again now out to Davy Nolan. Davy Nolan shakes off Dara Kennedy over the far side of the field, but it's good play by the Treacys to work it back in now into the danger area. They're not giving any clearance easy. Brian Carey comes in with the shoulder there. Davy Nolan holding firm though, and it's fed out to Inda McCarthy, the corner back, who drives it up the field, up now towards Ronan Tehan. Tehan takes on his man and off he goes past the 65, heading for the 45. The goal scorer just a minute ago, he sends this one in all the way in, and it just tails out to the left this time and goes wide. 2:15 playing 11 points. Short one out now from Shane Stapleton. Out here, worked up along the line. It's Treacy's coming on the attack once more now. Held up over there by Garrod Fahy. But Treacy's have got the ball up towards centre field here. And now they've worked it in. Good, clever ball in here. In on top of the corner forward. Carey does well to try and win this ball. But he's been shown away from the ball there. And Gortnahoe somehow win that ball back. And Brian Maher sends it long down here, down towards the wing forward again. Up here now, helter-skelter stuff out here. Ball in front of Fionn Cleary, trying to gather it. It's won back again by the Treacys though, and Shawnee Ryan has won himself a free in just inside the 65. Shea Butler came in with the challenge. Shawnee now will steady things down. Patrick Carey will look to slot it over the bar and stay in the game.
Yeah, Shawnee Ryan is really trying to galvanise his team here. He's driving forward at every attempt, and he's really trying to bring his teammates along with him and get them back into the game.
And looking at it there, it's going to be hard break down that Gortnahoe rear guard. They seem to just have an extra man there, like they have an extra one on the line at the minute. But in around the half back line, they've just a couple of players floating all the time. Yeah,
and Davy Nolan is just every fire that he's putting every fire out there. Great play from Philly Purcell there in the last play to go out man on man v Patrick Carey and beat him out to the ball. So Gortnahoe on top.
Here we go, it's sent in. Carey slots this in and it's out to the right and just drifts wide.
Yeah, and they're just the ones, as we mentioned in the first half, you just need to nail those to keep yourself in the game.
So, long one out from Timmy Dunn out the far side of the field, and it just beats Garrod Fahy over there. And it is going to be a line ball for the Treacys. Tom Hickey will take this one just inside the 65, cuts it up long. And it's one out there in the middle of the field. They're just trying to forage out there as best they can at the minute, and they've worked that ball over here now, this side over to the main man. Away he goes. It's Shawnee Ryan. Shawnee Ryan shakes off the challenge and sends this one in, and it's high, but again it's out to the left, and again it's just gone wide.
Yeah, and Shawnee Ryan is becoming a real problem here for Gortnahoe Glengoole. I know they're well in the ascendancy here, but someone needs to pick him up. He seems to be free in the middle of the field. He's getting an awful lot of space.
So keeper gets ready again. Done long down the feed now, breaking on the wing forwards again. Came off Garrod Fahy's arm there and just broken nicely in front of Ronan Tehan, but the ball is just spilled in there. Sean Hickey trying to gather it out the far side. Good shouldering going on over there. They've worked it out now, and again another block comes in just at the right moment here, and Gortnahoe fighting hard for possession in there. Ref will probably throw it in. 7-8 players in there. If the ball isn't kicked out along the deck, they're all just fighting for it in there. No one coming out with clean ball just on the 45 at the minute. I know it's a good take there by Adrian Maher. How he got that ball up into his hand is just unbelievable skill, and he's got a free as well. So they're winning those kind of 50-50 challenges out there right now.
Huge work by Adrian Maher, but it was the hook by Fionn Cleary. It looked like a lost cause. Chased back, got the hook, created the scrum, and then they won the free from Adrian Maher. So brilliant work rate from both Adrian Maher and Fionn Cleary, the two wing forwards for Gortnahoe Glengoole. And I think that really, Stephen, is the difference between the teams.
So 2:15 playing 11 points. Gortnahoe up against the Treacys. Ronan Tehan gets ready, slots it in. It's a low ball and a little flick and a great save by Stapleton in the goals, and he does well to gather and send it out towards the 65. Breaking ball out there now. A let off there as away come the Treacys. Mike Feehan works it up along here up towards Patrick Carey. Good ball back outside him here now, and a shot comes in from Jody Ryan, and this one has just tailed off to the left and wide.
Yeah, another wide by Jody Ryan, just really sucking the energy out of Sean Treacy's. They need a couple of those to go over and just kind of get some sort of a foothold in this game.
So short one out as far as the corner back. Away goes into McCarthy for Gortnahoe Glengoole now, trying to come out with that ball. They've worked it up along the far side of the field, and they've got another free out over there. Couple of Treacy's players just in too hard into the challenge, and it is going to be another free now for Gortnahoe.
Yeah, what's interesting about these long-range frees for Gortnahoe is Fionn Cleary in the warm-up was hitting the long-range frees, and Ronan Tehan hitting the close in ones. So saw Fionn hit a couple of these over in the warm-up, so it'll be interesting to see can he get the distance. He's on his own 65 here, right in front of the new stand. So long way out, Stephen. Let's see, can he get it?
He'll have a go at this as Enda McCarthy makes his way back to the corner back position, having a serious game for Gortnahoe. Won that free there and just involved in everything for them. But here we go with this free here, and it is, as Keane said, a difficult free. 2:15 to 11 points. It's Treacys need the score. You'd imagine that Gortnahoe just want to put it out of sight before the last quarter, as this one is sent in and high and over the bar. A magnificent strike out there.
Brilliant strike by Fionn Clear. That's a long way out, and that just adds to Gortnahoe Glengoole's stranglehold and foothold in this game. 11 points in it now.
And the ref has called for the water break here, and I'd say Treacys will just have to just shake things up here. They've got a really good manager there in Natal O'Grady on the sideline, but they just need to mix things in a different way or just get something right, and that they're not able to break down that rear guard. 11 points on board so far. They need goals now.
Yeah, it's so hard from a managerial point of view. When things are going wrong, it's very hard to counteract it. And when you're playing with a sweeper system, which has worked well for Sean Treacy's over the last year or so, it's very hard when it breaks down, because you're then kind of forced to push up, and your fear when you push up is you're going to get caught at the back. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but that's the decision now facing Natal, O'Grady, Niall Butler and John Connors from my own club. Do they push up? Do they go man on man? Do they really go after this game? And in doing so, are you allowing Gortnahoe really to go at this and really bury him?
Yeah, and they're two quality teams here, but you'd have to say that Gortnahoe just are holding the aces at the minute. We can hear them down here just below us. The talk is going, it's the players who are carrying it now.
Yeah, I see Andrew O'Brien is giving the rallying cry down there. Like, what he's asking is really true. That there is more in Sean Treacy. We all know that. Intermediate champions 2019. Really good side. That there is more. They're better than they're showing in this third quarter, Steve.
So they're just going through a bit of soul searching here. They have 15 minutes to save the day here. It is Gortnahoe Glengoole who are in control at the minute. 2:16 playing 11 points here, and down the other end they've got a strong panel. I think they've up to 50 training. Willie Coleman was telling me a few months ago, and that sort of numbers just shows the energy they have. They've got a junior C team this year for the first time in their history.
Yeah, no, and the junior C is a great competition. There's huge development has gone on through schools level out there with David O'Dwyer as principal in Gortnahoe School. Their underage structures are great, and great development on their field out there. So it's a real up and coming club, Stephen.
Yeah, really positive stuff there. Everyone from 16 right up to the late 50s togging out and playing, and it just shows the energy and the drive in a club when they're doing that, and those are the successful clubs. As this one is sent long down the field, a breaking ball out there, and it's won by Martin Barneville, the centre back, and away he goes. And great play there by the Tracys. 3 of them in on top of him, not allowing him any space or room, and now they have a free and a chance to just kick on here. It's Patrick Carey who will take this. So this one more straightforward than the others, and it really is a must get free.
Yeah, and much better energy and work rate from the Sean Treacy's forwards there. 3 of them converging on the ball carrier, turning them over free, and then it's over the bar from Patrick Carey.
So that moves them on to 12 points now. 2:16 for Gortnahoe Glengoole in this game as the keeper gets ready. Timmy Dunn, long and high, looking for the wing forwards again. Adrian Mars underneath it, up with a clash of the ash there with Chris Egan. Ball spills free and away goes Adrian Mars, but it's just a nice little flick away by the Tracys. Outside now, out to Slattery. Kevin Slattery, the full forward for Gortnahoe, leaves this ball in the middle, and it's straight into Adrian Mars. Adrian Mars is through, and Adrian Mars has buried it. He's fired it into the back of the net. That's a nail in the coffin of Sean Treacy's. What a finish.
What a finish, but what about the ball from Kevin Slattery across? Superb vision, straight into the path of Adrian Mars, and again a brilliant low finish.
Now this ball spilled out here. 3:16 playing 12. Again Gortnahoe heads up here now, and it's Adrian Mars, the goal scorer, who sends this one in around the house. Straight in there, but time and room for Shane Stapleton to come out and gather that, and he sends it long back down the field now up towards Dara Kennedy. Dara Kennedy coming out now, little flick over the head there. Pat Deegan trying to gather it, challenged out there by Enda McCarthy, an absolutely brilliant cornerback for Gortnahoe, but away go Treacys. This time they're working it inside now, and it's Dara Kennedy, and he just moves that ball on no real advantage, so it is going to be a free in for Dara Kennedy, and I think there's going to be another name going into the book. And is that a second yellow card for Davy Nolan? I think it is.
Yeah, second yellow for Davy Nolan. He's coming off the field. Shane Stapleton is coming up from the goal to hit this, so they're going for great fast hands there from Tom Hickey onto Dara Kennedy in the build-up, and Dara Kennedy has made a difference since coming on.
So this is it now. They're getting a lifeline here. It's 3-16 to 12 points, but Gortnahoe are down to 14:45 on the clock here. Shane Stapleton, he's got an absolute bullet of a shot, much like Seamus Butler had for many years for the Treacys. Here we go. Shane Stapleton up against 5 or 6 of the Gortnahoe defence, led by Timmy Dunn in there. Now, ref just stepping back. This is it. This could be a key moment in the game here. Up he goes, rises, strikes it low, and a great save in there by Timmy Dunn, and it breaks out as far as Enda McCarthy. Enda McCarthy solo and back up the field, out past the 21, and he's tripped over, and it is going to be a free out. You can hear the roar.
Yeah, that's a huge energy turner there for Gortnahoe Glengoole to save a shot like that and win a free, no score to come out of it. Huge boost to Gortnahoe following on from the sending off of Davy Nolan.
Will it create a bit of space in there for the Treacys forwards, do you think?
Yeah, it should allow them. It should get rid of the sweeper anyway that was there, and Davy kind of protecting 2 cornerbacks, so there should be a little bit more room now for the likes of Patrick Carey.
This ball breaking up here, and it's one again, and away they go. This ball just played in. Oh, great play by the keeper just to win that ball. It was great vision by Garrod Fahy to spot a free man outside, but the keeper was equal to it. Ball spills out the far side now. Carl Campion just holding off Tom Hickey out there, and Treacys just need possession of the ball, and they need to get working. Ref is going to throw this one in, and he's moving them back out the middle of the field here. Dara Hickey there going in, and now it is Sean Hickey is going to go in for this one, but it is just going to be a free for Gortnahoe, and just a chop down out there, and those frees are a killer now because it was probably unnecessary.
Yeah, and it slows the whole game down. Fionn Cleary just trots out to take it. It's another minute gone off the clock. Interesting looking at the Sean Treacy's full forward line. It's now 2v2 inside. You have Matt Feehan and Patrick Carey. There's no protection there from Gortnahoe with their sweeper gone. So it'll be interesting to see, can Sean Treacy's get the ball in fast into the 2 boys in a 2v2 scenario.
Good stuff. Cian Treacy joining me here today on commentary, manager of Thurles Sarsfield's Oreen Cup team as well. And Gortnahoe warming up a sub down here below as Tommy Duggan just warming up before this free is struck. But Fionn Cleary, really good player for them now. 3-16 playing 12 points. They're driving it on here. 49 on the clock. And this one is sent in all the way in, and it just tails out to the left of the upright, and it has gone wide as that change is made there now. And he's going into defence, it looks like, just to freshen it up.
Yeah, he's in for Colm Guilfoyle. Massive shift from Colm, particularly in that first half, and they're just trying to batten down the hatches here now, Gortnahoe Glengoole.
Long puck out this time, breaking up there, and it is Treacy's trying to win it, but again it's Adrian Maher who wins that ball for Gortnahoe. Coming out with it here, but Shawnee Ryan takes it off him. Shawnee Ryan for the Treacys sends it straight into the danger area, in towards Dara Kennedy. Kennedy comes out, but Enda McCarthy beats him to it. McCarthy now sends this up the field, straight up. Shea Butler is up there looking for this ball, challenged out there by Mackey, and Treacy's just retrieved the situation and work it back out the field here now, and they've got a bit of space and a bit of room inside it. They can send it in early. Ball comes in, but it is won back again by Gortnahoe, and they try and come back out the field with it. And Slattery this time drives it long up the field, all the way up from Kevin Slattery. Goes out over the line. He was looking for Ronan Tehan, but it is going to be Andrew O'Brien who will have a line ball and a chance down here. And again, Gortnahoe just winning those ones and sending the ball back up. Yeah,
interesting to see that Kevin Slattery is now picking up Shawnee Ryan. He's taking up a defensive position. He's very versatile and able to play there too, Stephen.
So line ball, good cut this time from the corner back for Treacys, all the way up the field here, looking for Brian Carey up there. In goes Shawnee Ryan again, and Shawnee Ryan gathers it and takes him on, four of them after him, and they bring him to the ground. It is going to be a free for Shawnee Ryan, just on the 45, just wants to take his point now, and they're going to wait for the corner forward, Patrick Carey, to come out to take it, and again, like, they just need a bit more urgency, don't they? Slowing it down for themselves.
Yeah, at this stage you'd nearly be saying, I know there's probably 10 minutes plus injury time left. They did need a maximum, you know, they need that green flag really quickly just to get the motoring again.
So Patrick Carey came out, struck that one over the bar, 13 points now, playing 3-16, so that's a 12-point lead for Gortnahoe Glengoole. Timmy Dunn with this one, sends it long up the field, looking for the wing forwards, all nicely met out there by Chris Egan, just pulled in the air, nice skill. Breaks to Mike Feehan on to Brian Carey sends it on again to Pat Deegan coming through the middle now, and just has spilled that ball, and Kevin Slattery there started at full forward but operating at centre back currently for Gortnahoe, has done enough to work that ball up the field, and again they come on the attack, long ball hit in there, and it is going to be a free in just from out the field. Gortnahoe just in the wars out there. Brian Maher, the player, just holding his arm slightly out there, but a chance for another long range one, and you'd imagine that Fionn Cleary will just slow things down, take his time now, has the towel out, you know, just use up a few more seconds is the way he's seen it.
Certainly, Stephen, this is all suiting Gortnahoe down to the ground, you know, taking their time coming out. The clock is winding down. There must have been a bit of back chat to the referee because the free has been brought in closer to goal, and now Ronan Tehan is going to hit this.
So just swap of free takers there just outside the D, and Ronan Tehan will have time and room, and this should be a very straightforward free. 3-16, playing 13 points currently. Treacys need the scores, but it is Gortnahoe who are just getting the scores much easier as that one goes over the bar. Here we go, long puck out down the field now, breaking up there in the middle, and it is just sent on by Kevin Slattery, but it breaks nicely for the main man for Treacys. Away he goes, Shawnee Ryan works it on again. Treacys coming on the attack this time. Oh, it's just spilled though in there, and Tommy Duggan retrieves it for Gortnahoe, but the ball just down on the deck now. It's broken nicely outside here, and Pat Deegan just couldn't get the flick on. The keeper came out, did really well. Timmy Dunn just put him off enough to concede the 65, but not a goal.
Yeah, and the hardest thing, Stephen, in hurling to do at times is to try and force a goal chance, particularly when the defence is packed. And Gortnahoe Glengoole are now packing out that defensive area, that kind of inside the penalty area, so to speak, and it's going to be very congested and very hard to create open and clear-cut goal chances.
Great stuff, Keane. Treacy here, and play is just going to be held up again here a little bit longer. Gortnahoe just with an injured player down there on the deck, and you know, at this stage of the game you're thinking you just want to get through it now, no injuries, and look to round 3.
Yeah, Gortnahoe 2 from 2, looking like it's going to be 2 from 2 after today. They certainly don't want any injuries. I see Tommy Duggan is down at the moment, so just getting through this, seeing out the last few minutes, particularly having lost Davy Nolan, they won't want to see any more cards and they won't want any more injuries.
Yeah, so it's, as you said there, it is very congested down there, you know. I mean, like, he's obviously going to try and lob the ball in there, and it's nearly too late to get that goal in some ways. I know if they get one, who knows, but like, it's a much harder prospect at getting a goal now than it was 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, when the thing is a little bit more open, it's more conducive maybe to scoring goals. Although watching last weekend, Ballyhale played in the Kilkenny Championship, they got 6-2 in the last 15 minutes, so I suppose it is possible, but they do have TJ Reid, Colin Fennelly, guys like this. But when the thing gets smothered up, when it gets congested, it is really hard to get goals.
So Jamie Moriarty is coming on the field to play just for the injured Tommy Duggan, who came on and did well when he did come on, but this ball is hit in around the house, dangerous one, and the keeper goes up and just blocks it out. Timmy Dunn equal to the shot from Patrick Carey that just was lobbed in there. Ball just on the 21 now, loads of players in there and no one coming out clear. The shot breaks out now. Pat Deegan had a shot, just didn't connect as he'd like, and it's sent out the field, and Gortnahoe cleared their lines, and again all their energy just focused on protecting the goal. It gets very hard to score it in, and Treacy's just trying to change the dynamic now. Stephen Carr is coming onto the field of play, and Killian Kennedy is coming on as well. So Killian and Stephen on to see can they change things here and just keep this game alive for the Treacys here. But one change being made, and it looks like it's Chris Egan that's going off there. One sub off, and the other one is going off there as well. It is Tom Hickey.
Yeah, 2 changes. They're really trying to change things up here. The rain is down again. It's getting greasy.
Long one out here the far side. Treacys have it. Sean Hickey. Good ball inside now, free man here, but it's lobbed in around the house. Dangerous one, and the keeper comes out and gathers it and sends it back out. Good play. Timmy Dunn just moves it out towards the 45 now. Martin Barneville trying to control it there, but there's 2 lads on him, and it's taken back off him by Patrick Carey, and Patrick Carey does the sensible thing, takes his point, and that moves him on to 14 points, and now they'll have a chance here just to move the Gortnahoe players out the field and then try and attack. So we're still waiting here, and I think there's another change being made.
Yeah, Davy Butler is on for Shea Butler on the Gortnahoe team. That's a 4th point from play by Patrick Carey, and he, in terms of scoring, he's really carried the fight to Gortnahoe.
Long puck out this time. It's one out there by Adrian Maher. Nice clever ball into the corner now. Out comes the corner forward trying to control it there, and does well inside, and he takes on his man and off he goes. It's Davy Butler who leaves it off, and now they've worked it inside, and it's another one in the back of the net. Jack Moore at the end of it. Good intricate play from Gortnahoe Glengoole, and Jack Moore buries it. 4-17 to 14 points.
Brilliant introduction by Davy Butler. Carried the ball in. Lovely quick hands on the offload, and it fell to Jack Moore, who finished the ball. Great celebrations on the sideline there by the Gortnahoe management, so they think the job is done, and they know the job is done, and it is.
4-17 to 14 points, 57 on the clock. Ball in the middle of the field. Treacy's trying to win it out there, but it is Brian Maher who has it now. Feeds it on to Jack Moore. Jack Moore on to Adrian Maher. Adrian Maher on the run. Slots this one in, and it just tails out. Again out to the left, and again it's just gone wide there. So still 4-17, playing 14 points. Treacy's looking to bring on another sub there, and play will be held up, and Gortnahoe have a player down injured. So just little changes on the teams. I think it is Pat Dawson that's warming up for the Treacys down here below us, and Fionn Cleary, the player, down injured, and you know that's the key thing now. Just no injuries really going into the next round.
Yeah, and any injury to Fionn Cleary would be a huge setback to Gortnahoe Glengoole. He's one of their main players. He's 1-4 scored today, so they'll be hoping he gets back up to his feet, and he looks like he is maybe a little bit of a dead leg.
And change being made there. Brian Carey off, and Pat Dawson just coming on for the Treacys here, and the injured player is up and moving about for Gortnahoe. So 58 on the clock. We'll just wait and see what's added on here. Short one, and the keeper gets it back, and here he goes. Hits it long in around the house. Now's the chance here, and it's just breaking free over there, and it is Martin Barneville who comes out to gather it and feed it out to Brian Maher. Brian Maher now out towards the middle of the field out there. Stephen Carr, first touch out there for him, and in goes the other sub as well. Killian Kennedy involved in that, but it is Gortnahoe who work it out now. Fahy sends it in around the house. Good ball in on top of Fionn Cleary. Fionn Cleary just trying to get a little flick on it away from his marker there, and it is Tehan who comes in and just takes it away, and Tehan is coming through the middle here now, but a keeper equal to it. Good play by Stapleton again. He's really mopping up back there for the Treacys and just keeping them in the game here as this ball is sent long all the way up the field here, up to towards the half forward line. They need a goal now. They're trying to work something here. It's worked over as far as Pat Deegan. Pat Deegan comes in, and Pat Deegan has got a goal for Sean Treacy's. Is it too little too late, or could they muster something here? It depends how long it's going to be added on. It's 4-17 to 1-14 now.
Bit of a consolation score, I'd say, Stephen. Super ball by Patrick Carey. Could have tipped the ball over the bar, brought it on off the hurley. Super pass across to Pat Deegan, and again a lovely low finish across Timmy Dunn into the corner of the net.
Gortnahoe have 2 more players down injured at this stage of the game, and it's been an attritional game, but they're going to need everyone right now, and they'll just want to make sure they just see this game out. Looks like Shea Butler could be coming back on for them in the next few minutes here. 2 players down injured. Really, it's a lot late on.
Yeah, and it seems to be Brian Maher and it's Enda McCarthy, so they'd be very worried about those 2 players, 2 who put in huge shifts today. Brian Maher 3 points from play. He seems to have a small knock, and Enda McCarthy is stretching out his calves there just by the town end goal.
So Andy Ryan here on the PA today just announced it is Shea Butler who's on the field there, just coming on for Brian Maher, and then Enda McCarthy is off.
Seems to be some sort of a groin injury for Brian Maher. Colm Guilfoyle is back on. This is the thing with teams, Stephen. As you know, they're probably trying to protect other teams in the club, so they're bringing the guys back on again rather than using lads up that might play junior this weekend.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of junior championships ongoing at the moment as well, and intermediate.
So it's something we have in our own club. You're always trying to mind different teams and use lads sparingly in order to keep the other teams competitive. And Gortnahoe and Key Corbett and the 2 Stanleys are obviously trying to do the same thing here.
So here we go. This ball sent in by Gortnahoe over the far side of the field, and it is just knocked away there by Andrew O'Brien. Did well to take the ball away. So 3 minutes will be added on here, according to Andy over from us here in the PA. It is 4-17 against 1-14. 3 more live games on the Tipperary stream to come this weekend. Dennis Kelly and Paul Jenkins will be here for Drummond against Upper Strumban in this field at 3:30. And then tomorrow it is Toom and Clonolty and also Killadangan against JK Brackens. Those 2 games tomorrow. And ball just gone out the far side. It is going to be a line ball, and a lot is going to be known about the championship after today's games and tomorrow's games.
Yeah, this is really his moving day, Stephen, in both championships, Oreen and Danbreen, and we'll probably know where everyone stands by the close of business tomorrow evening.
Good stuff, Keane, as Treacy's coming the attack. Can they get another goal late on in this? 62 on the clock here. It's Shawnee Ryan. Absolutely brilliant today for Sean Treacy's. He sends this ball straight in now. Breaking in there in front of the wing forward. Up they go for it here. They have possession here if they can work something. It's Pat Deegan. Pat Deegan now. Away he goes. Pat Deegan. Oh, good ball inside now. In towards Feehan. Mike Feehan now has it. Leaves off this ball. They're in. And it's in the back of the net. A great moment for Killian Kennedy to put the ball in the net at the town end here for Sean Treacy's.
Yeah, lovely work, well worked goal by Sean Treacy. Young clear Killian Kennedy getting the goal. He'll always remember that day in Thurles where he got one of his first goals for Sean Treacy.
And it is Timmy Dunn ready with this. 4-17 to 2-14. Long puck out here now. Breaking ball out here. And it is Brendan O'Dwyer called into action there for the Treacys. But away come Gortnahoe now. Gortnahoe in possession. They've worked it out to Jack Moore. Jack Moore, dangerous one in the middle now. Treacy's just trying to gather this ball. They need to just get it and send it long down the field. And that's exactly what the keeper does. Stapleton drives it up here now. Breaking ball. But again, it's Gortnahoe who win it. And Gortnahoe work it out here through Kevin Slattery. Slattery there. Treacys have 2 lads inside free. If they can send it in, they've got it to one of them now. It's Pat Deegan. Pat Deegan coming through, and just in the split second earlier and they could have been in for a goal here, but it is Treacy's who just lose possession here, and Gortnahoe who work it out of defence. Away they go up the field here, up now to Slattery, and Slattery drives it long. That's the final act in this game. 4-17 for Gortnahoe Glengoole, 2-14 for Sean Treacy's. 64 on the clock, and I suppose, Keane, it's fair to say they were full value for their win.
Well valued for the win, Stephen. A big part of Gortnahoe's play this year, Gortnahoe Glengoole's play, has been goal scoring and going for the juggler. And I thought there, when the game was in the melting pot, they really went for it, and they got 4 really well worked goals. The 2 consolation goals from Sean Treacy's were probably too little too late, but in fairness to them, they never gave in. They kept going right to the end, but all in all, Gortnahoe Glengoole, a much slicker outfit, and much more kind of conducive to hurling in Semple Stadium with their speed, their power, particularly around that middle third, breaking the line, than Sean Treacy. Sean Treacy's always a hard outfit to break down in more rural venues, you know, tighter pitches.
Great spirit from Sean Treacy's. They were in it right through. They were going for goals. You know, there was no such thing as giving up.
No, absolutely, and they'd be renowned for that. We played them many years in the intermediate, a really tough team to break down. I suppose Shawnee, Ryan Rogers really just encapsulated that spirit, you know, never say die, brought the fight to them, and never ever gave in. And look, in fairness to his teammates, they could have died there, they kept going, and they'll hope in the final group game that they have a big chance again of qualifying out of this group.
So they have 1 point so far, isn't it?
Yeah, draw with Killinall in the first match, so they will be playing Ballina, their final group game. And Gortnahoe Glengoole will be playing Killinall in the final game.
Yeah.
So all up for grabs.
Gortnahoe, like, they look like they could be, you know, real contenders for the Arena Cup.
Oh, massively. They have a huge pick. And as we said earlier at the outset, like, to lose Keane Hayes, arguably their main forward, 114 in last year's county final, that would be too much of a loss for most teams. And to see that they have 6 free scoring forwards without him, it just shows the talent that's available to Keith Corbett and the Stanleys. And they have a really, really strong squad. Not just 15, they have a really strong 20, 24 players.
Yeah, so it is Gortnahoe Glengoole who march on. And I know you're in Templederry at 5:30 for SARS and Killadangan. And like, just on that game, like, it is going to be a real test for you as well. Swan and Burgess in that group.
Yeah, 4 really good teams in that group, and Killadangan, as I said earlier, they're riding on the crest of a wave. They have a really strong, competitive Dan Breen team who are the favourites to win that competition out. So we're expecting a hell of a game in Templederry later on, and there won't be more than a point or two either way in it.
Great stuff, Cian Treacy. Good to have you here alongside for this game. It is Gortnahoe Glengoole, the winners here after nearly 65 minutes hurling. 4 goals and 17 points. Sean Treacy's 2 goals and 14 points. From me, Stephen Gleeson, hope you enjoyed our coverage of this game here, and my thanks to the lads here alongside me. At 3:30, Paul Jenkins and Dennis Kelly will be in situ for Drummondinch against Upper Church Drum Band. That's live on the stream at 3:30. From us here in Thurles today, Slán Anish.